Attorney, kamusta na kliyente nyo? Where in the world is Pastor Apollo Quiboloy?
Well, the last time I saw him, he was at the prayer mountain. He was in a state of contemplation and meditation.
This was how many days or weeks ago, Attorney?
Oh, well, I think that was before I left for Singapore on the 22nd.
Okay, so
matagal na.
around the Holy Week, I guess, no? Around the Holy Week.
Oo,
before or
kasi
after.
po yung the lawyers who are assigned to his cases in Davao are different from me. And also holds true with respect to the case in Pasig.
Pero attorney, you're the general counsel, hindi ba? Were you apprised of the conditions that he supposedly set for his surrender?
Opo, I was apprised of it, and para sa akin po, the last time I saw him, I gave him the benefit of my best advice. But as always, we leave it up to the client after having been given the laws as applicable to the facts and circumstances of the case. They are left to make their own decisions.
And your best advice,
Kasi
Attorney, is...
attorney, ang description ni President Marcos doon sa mga condition, it looks like the tail daw wagging the dog.
Oh, well,
Ano?
if the tail is wagging the dog seems to be wagging now. Because no less than the President of the Philippines is making comments. So,
Hindi, ang sabi lang, ang mai-reassure lang daw niya sa kliyente nyo is due process. At sabi ni Secretary Remulla, wala daw kay yung kliyente nyo na mag-set ng condition for his surrender.
well,
Natin ang position to set conditions.
well, lahat naman po can ask for concessions. Kasi yung Marcos family nga, hindi ba? Aminado naman sila that they asked for concession with respect to the hidden wealth cases in the US. So, bakit naman hindi? Lahat naman may kay.
Attorney,
Arrest
you
warrant siya,
mentioned...
attorney. Arrest warrant siya eh.
Criminal case din yung, di ba? Aminado naman siya sa isang interview niya, di ba? That they set conditions for the return of the wealth, etc., etc. So, well, if these conditions are not acceptable, then he's the chief executive, he has the police and the military under him, he would know what to do.
Okay, Attorney, you mentioned giving Pastor Apollo Quiboloy your best advice. And this best advice would be what, Attorney?
Well, I will have to invoke lawyer-client
Ayun.
privilege on that, but rest assured that I have been in the similar situation so many times in my 32 years of being a lawyer. And so far, most of the cases wherein there was such a media feeding frenzy and so much brouhaha, they all turned out in the manner that in the end, my clients were acquitted. So all of these circumstances, all of these things that are happening are extraneous to the actual guilt or innocence of any person accused of a crime. Siguro lang ay high profile masyado yung personalities involved kaya nagkakaroon ng ganito. But this is not an isolated case. There are so many incidents like this that are left for the law enforcement authorities to handle.
Okay,
Attorney,
and if we go, Attorney, back to your previous cases, and if we go by your previous cases, this best advice would be for a client of yours to come out and face the court, right?
Well, in fact, his lawyers are ably representing him. I think he has some pending incidents before the corresponding courts wherein his cases are pending. So, sinusunod naman po namin ang proseso.
So, Attorney, these cases are bailable actually, no? So, ano pong kinakatakot ni Pastor na pwede naman siya mag-post ng bail at he can go free?
Well, it is the general unfairness of it all na yung sinasabi nilang due process. Mahirap po kasing maniwala na may due process, may fairness. Sapagkat kung titingnan niyo yung flow of events, it cannot be a mere coincidence na nagkaroon ng congressional inquiry dito sa SMNI. nagkaroon ng hearing and then the eventual passage of the House bill that cancels the franchise of SMNI, and then pinakulong at kinontempt yung mga anchors ng SMNI. Inimbestigahan si Pastor Quiboloy ng Senado. If there is such a thing as a whole of government approach, this is it. With respect to Pastor Quiboloy. At bakit ngayon lamang nagkaroon ng ganitong confluence of events? So, if you're going to talk about due process, if you're going to talk about fairness, the recent actuations on the part of government do not lend any kind of confidence to that reassurance.
Okay, hindi kaya, Attorney, mas kinakabahan si Pastor Quiboloy dito sa kaso sa Senado? Yung arrest warrant ng Senado.
Oh, kasi walang...
The Davao case is bailable, but the Senate arrest warrant is another matter. Would that be Pastor Apollo Quiboloy's bigger concern?
I would not know because I think Attorney Elvis Balayan, who is in charge of the matter before the Senate, would be in a better position to say that. Rest assured that kami naman po ang amin lamang tinitingnan dito ay yung talagang a due process. Alam nyo, there is more to these cases than meets the eye. Hindi po ito pangkaraniwang kaso ng isang pangkaraniwang akusado. There are so many factors that are in play here na hindi po nakikita. At there are so many undercurrents that are affecting the outcome of this case na mahirap pong magtiwala na ito ay isang open and shut case. Nakakatakot po itong kasong to, especially with respect to our previous allegations long before, many years before, that the United States has a hand in these matters.
Attorney, yung lagi ini-invoke ng kliyente niyo is si US eh. Is warning na balak daw siyang ipadala doon, not by extradition, kundi extraordinary rendition. Eh, hindi ba mas mapapabilis lahat? You're a lawyer, hindi ba mas mapapabilis if you are maintaining your innocence? Hindi ba mas mabilis kung harapin nyo na lang lahat ng mga accusations and just speed up everything kung talaga naman inosente kayo?
Well, I would like to borrow a term from former Senator Ping Lacson, who coined the phrase fugitive from injustice. So may mga pagkakataon po na talagang the ordinary rules do not apply, and I believe this is one of those cases na talagang extraordinary po ang circumstances surrounding this persecution of Pastor Quiboloy. Actually po, even the Supreme Court recognizes that there are remedies in cases that it is no longer an ordinary prosecution but rather that of persecution. This has been recognized in so many cases, and that is why we are still going to the highest court of the land for succor with respect to this matter. So, hindi naman po namin inaabandona ang proseso, but at merong sinasabi po grandes males, grandes remedios. In cases of great evil, there are great remedies na outside of the box.
At Attorney, kasi nung Sabado, nagsalita si Pastor na sinasabi niyang meron daw assassination plot sa kanya. Pwede kaya mauwi sa violence ang pag-aresto kay Pastor Quiboloy?
Well, I do hope that. Pero alam niyo po, si Pastor po over the years has cultivated a lot of friendships. A lot of people, they know him to be a good person. At if he talks of assassination attempts, if he talks of these things, this would be based not on any speculation or conjecture, but on solid evidence or solid information that has reached him.
Saan po magagaling
Attorney,
yung assassination attempt?
Yung legal challenges, you mean you're going to the Supreme Court? Kasi may arrest warrant na. You can challenge
may
it.
mga ganung moves po. Because I'm not the only lawyer, this is a team effort. And during the meetings that I have had with his other lawyers, and they are very good lawyers, all of them are learned in the profession. At magaganda naman po yung mga mungkahi nila, their game plan with respect to the remedies available to us at the moment. And these remedies can be availed of even during this time that the pastor has not yet been taken into custody. So, nandun naman po kami at dinadaan namin po sa prosesong legal. Wala namang kaming banta ng violence or any threat of violence or any other extra legal means. Nasa legal lang naman po kami palagi.
Meaning ipapakwash niyo po yung arrest through the Supreme Court?
Opo, marami naman pong remedies sa Boss Amy na available sa amin. And of course, being veterans in the profession, ay alam naman po namin. We know our way around. We can navigate through this whole maze of legal remedies, and we intend to avail of every one of them. At well, isang magandang argumento dyan na ni-raise ni Atty. Torion ay yun nga the question of delay in the Department of Justice. But because in so many cases, hindi nga inabot ng 4 na taon, ilang taon lamang, at sinabi ng ating Korte Suprema na that is already a violation of the right to speedy trial, and the result of that, since it is an unconstitutional act, is that it voids the indictment. So marami po This is not a plain and simple case na inimbestigahan, may warrant, at this is a politically charged case, especially right now under the present administration.
Maiba ko, attorney. Kamusta na po si Congressman Teves?
I visited him po last week from the 28th to the 30th sa Timor-Leste. And he is in good spirits. Kausap ko rin yung mga people who have him in custody, people who are in government, who are in charge of the justice system there. At ang una-una nga pong sinabi nila ay, well, things should not have gotten out of hand kasi parang sinabi yata nitong ating direktor ng NBI that he quoted the president of Timor-Leste as saying that he wanted supposedly Congressman Teves to be deported immediately. They said that that should not have been done because all communications, all statements that may be attributable to the president of Timor-Leste should be released through official channels, which is the media bureau of the office of the president of Timor-Leste. But that having said that, they walk me through. Yung mga abogado po sa Timor-Leste walk me through the procedure that Congressman Teves has to go through with respect to his custody, because he's not in custody in Timor-Leste because of a violation of any crime in Timor-Leste. As in fact, I was informed by the Intelligence Bureau of Timor-Leste that for a month, they surveilled Congressman Teves because he has been tagged as a terrorist by our government. But they found no evidence of any activity relating to terrorism nor any illegal activity for that matter.
Diba, Attorney, there's supposed to be a 15-day period.
Holding period.
Yeah, cooling off period or whatever that period is. So I understand that's if it's not over, it's almost over. So what happens next? After those 15 days?
I was informed that that period is extendable at the discretion of the court. And then I was also informed that at this point, all avenues are still present in order to allow Mr. Teves to stay in Timor-Leste. You know, due to the historical experience of Timor-Leste, and I speak from experience because very few people know that during 1999 up to the time that Timor-Leste became an independent country, I was very active in the Free Timor movement together with some friends. And so I have friends there who are now holding responsible positions in government. And because of their historical experience of being an oppressed people, they are very big on human rights and political asylum and considerations of safe refuge in Timor-Leste from political persecution.
Okay, thank you, Attorney Ferdinand Topacio, counsel to Pastor Apollo
It's
Quiboloy.
always a pleasure.
And also
Thank you,
counsel to
Attorney.
Congressman
Arnie
Arnie
Thank you,
Teves.
ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you, Boss Amy, Sir Patrick, Sir Manny. God bless.
Thank you.